Well, joining me now, we have former U.S. Government Director of Hostage Recovery, Christopher O'Leary. He is also an MS Now National Security and Intelligence Analyst. Welcome back to the show, Chris. So what do you make of all that overnight activity into the morning, in fact, today? Because from what we've learned, does it suggest any appreciable progress in this investigation?
Yeah, listen, there is certainly progress in this investigation with the amount of resources that the FBI has thrown at this and the capabilities of the FBI. The investigation is certainly progressing. The warrant last night, the FBI doesn't undertake search warrants lightly, so they would have had to establish fairly solid probable cause to move into search a house, especially during a period of darkness, because the FBI stays away from that. You need a nighttime exception to do a warrant at night, and a judge rarely gives that out. So there's exigency here, why you would want to go if they had reason to believe that Mrs. Guthrie could be there, or there was certainly valuable evidence that could be found at that location leading you to where she is being held. So, I mean, the FBI is definitely being aggressive. I know there's been talk about friction between the FBI and Pima County. The FBI works in collaboration with local and state and other federal partners all the time. There may be disagreements, but to get this mission accomplished, everybody is on the same sheet of music. They might have different ways of approaching a problem, but certainly geared at all getting to the same goal, which is locating and recovering Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so SWAT activity overnight. Also, a more detailed description of the suspect, new DNA discovered at the scene. There has been, Christopher, a flurry of activity. So what do you think in terms of how much this will help identify a suspect? What are they missing? What do they still need? I mean, other than obviously a name, but what is it that could help them get to a name?
Well, certainly the physical evidence that was recovered at the scene, which we don't, the general public doesn't have a full understanding of what forensics were actually gathered at the scene. What has been shared is now the height and weight, the build, the complexion, shoe size is likely to come out, and the clothing items, all those things put out to the general public to help try to identify this man, and also working with, private sector partners like Walmart, trying to identify the point of sale on the backpack and other things. But DNA is only good if we have an exemplar in the system matching it to an individual, or going through publicly available information and getting maybe a familial match will help it. So it's a great piece of information. But again, all of these things are not done in isolation. These things are being done contemporaneously with all the other efforts. There's still more video exploitation to go through, more cellular and technical analysis trying to illuminate this individual when he was in the area, either before abducting Mrs. Guthrie or when he arrived during it, anybody he's associated with. So illuminating his potential associates and picking away at them as well. So all of it is really a detailed investigation that requires the expertise of the FBI and its analysts in partnership with the state and local partners.
Okay, so since the first alleged ransom letter was delivered, you've had two deadlines. They have both come and gone. No payment has been made. And in one video, the Guthrie children said they were willing to pay. That was a week ago tonight. How odd is the sequence of events with respect to the ransom and the nature of these notes?
Yeah, it's a little odd, I will say, from kidnap for ransom cases and from hostage cases, routinely professional, and I use that term, loosely, but professional kidnap for ransom or hostage taking organizations will establish a line of communication, either directly with the family or with an intermediary. In this case, it would be the FBI crisis negotiator to start the negotiations, because they would have taken the victim here, Mrs. Guthrie, for a purpose to be paid. Now, it brings into question if the individual who sent the first two notes is authentic. Do they actually have Mrs. Guthrie? And if they are, well, we would expect them to reestablish communications. If they're not, then you would hope and expect that the people who do have her will establish communications soon. But at the end of the day, the captors are on their timeline, not law enforcement's timeline or the people of the Tucson area who are certainly concerned about Nancy Guthrie and her health. I will say, lastly, is traditionally speaking, kidnap for ransom groups and hostage taking groups keep the victim safe and healthy as much as they can, and will take into consideration health challenges. And I've seen this play out. So there is hope that Nancy Guthrie, even with her advanced years and her health issues, will come out of this fine on the back end, even though it's been 2 weeks. I've seen cases stretch months and victims recovered safely.
That is what we are all hoping and praying for. Christopher Leary, thank you so much.